Alright, hello everyone. My name is Mike, and today in this video I'd like to show you how I made my 308 long range target rifle, or sniper rifle as I like to call it, extremely accurate. First off, I'd like to explain what I was trying to accomplish when I put this setup together. My goal was to put together a rifle with the scope and the right bullet to squeeze out as much accuracy as I could out of that package. And to do that, I decided to look for a gun that had the most to offer for the lowest price. And I wasn't talking $300-400. I'm talking like under $1,000. I was looking to spend about $1,000 bucks, but I didn't want to go and get custom and go all out and put a stock. I wanted to come out of the box and shoot it. So I went ahead and decided on this Savage Model 10 FCP-K chambered in .308 Winchester. I went ahead and fitted it with a Zeiss Conquest 6.5 by 20 scope, and I put a Harris bipod on it. And from there I assembled it, brought it home out of the box. All I've done to the gun is take it apart to adjust the accu trigger. That's what's required to adjust it. You have to disassemble. I brought it down to its lowest setting of 1.5 pounds. This gun does have the accu stock. It's aluminum bedded inside. Pretty basic, no thrills, standard look, but it's a pretty solid setup. So first time out, actually let's back up a little bit. With this setup I ended up spending $900 on the gun out the door with tax and fees and everything. $600 on this scope. It was originally $1,200. I found it somewhere. It was a discontinued model. They were closing it out, so I got it for half off. And the bipod, 70 bucks I believe I paid. So $1,570 for this whole package. So that's where I'm at. So I went ahead to break it in. I just picked up some Federal American Eagle 147 grain ammo, took it out to the range, shot that at 100 yards. The groups were about 5 inches. I was a little concerned, but I realized the ammo might not be a match. So I went online to see what the consensus was with .308. What's the bullet that everyone uses for target shooting? And there was a clear consensus. It was a Sierra Match King 168 grain hollow point bow tail. So I went ahead and picked up these and decided to load my own. So I shot those Federal, like I said, took that brass, went home, loaded them up. I tested several powders. I ended up settling on Varget. It seems to perform the best. I get the tightest groups. It seems to be a little quicker, less affected by wind. So I went ahead with that. So I got Varget, Sierra Match King 168 grain bullet, hit the range again. Second time out on testing, that 100-yard group shrunk to 3/4 of an inch. So from that point I realized I was on the right track. Things were getting better, the groups were getting tighter. So I decided to commence the 100-yard, all my further testing was going to be done at 200 yards because this gun was intended to go beyond that. So I wanted it dialed in at least 200 yards. So I went ahead and took that same setup that I just loaded, shot it at 200 yards, and yet again it produced the same results. I got about 1 inch to 1.5 inch groups. The groups were actually a little tighter, mostly under 1 inch with an occasional flyer. So that flyer concerned me. I said, well, if it wasn't for that, I would have had, 3/4 of an inch at 200 yards. So I was trying to figure out what I could do to eliminate that flyer. So I read online and decided that the easiest and simplest way would be to adjust the bullet overall length. So how far you seat it into the case. So to figure out what was the right length for my gun, what this setup could take, I took an empty .308 case. I took a punch, this exact punch like this, one that tapers. I put it into the mouth of the case and I wobbled it around and I opened up the case a little bit. Just enough to where the bullet would slide in by hand but still take force to go in. So then after that I had my setup, I installed it into the gun, slid the bolt in slowly. You can feel the bullet start contacting the rifling, and then you get it all the way in, you start pushing it and then lock it down. And then carefully pull it back out, making sure you don't snag the bullet to move it or anything, which it happens quite a bit. So I did that over and over and over again, and every time I mic'd it. I did it about 20 times. and a number kept popping up over and over. There was a pattern. I kept seeing the same number, 2.804, 2.804. So I decided, well, that's the number I'm going to use. It seems to be the one that's the most accurate because I got it again and again and again. So I went ahead and did that same setup. I took the Varget, Sierra Match King. Now I set the bullet depth to 2.804, and I went out and I went testing again. This time, before I shot that, I decided to try these. This is a Silver State Armory Precision Ammo. These are loaded with the same bullets, the Sierra Match King. So I figured, I'll see what these do. This is commercial ammo, supposed to be precision. Shot it at 200 yards, got about the same results, inch to inch and a half group. Starting to think that that's about all this gun had in it. So then I went ahead with my hand loads set to the right length for my gun, and the groups shrunk to less than half an inch, 0.47, 3-shot group, 0.47 at 200 yards. So needless to say, I was really pleased with that. I stopped there. I haven't bothered messing with, I found the right powder load, the right bullet, the right overall length for my case. It was working great with my setup. And to prove my fact, I have a target here from that testing day. This here would be the group of SSA at 200 yards. We're talking, that's easily an inch. I'm calling it about 1.25 inches. Was aiming for here, and the bullets were a little slower. They were dropping down, so I just kept aiming for the same spot, and that's actually a 4-shot group. Ended up with a flyer. That's when I reloaded, let the barrel cool, start all fresh, went with my hand loads, and that's it right there. They were actually aiming higher than the point of aim. They were hitting on paper higher than the point of aim, but as you can see, that's a 3-shot group. I've mic'd it, it's 0.47 of an inch. So I feel that it was a success. So my whole mission was to set out and produce an extremely accurate combination of rifle, scope, and bullet that is equal in performance to a gun you'd spend $3,000 on. But I spent half that on the whole setup. So if you're having trouble out there, you're expecting more from your gun, you might want to look into that little tiny adjustment. It's finding out where that bullet needs to be for your rifle, and that'll make a huge difference. All right, well, thank you for watching. I hope this information was helpful. I hope it can help you improve your accuracy and get better shooting. And thank you for watching.